Hello and welcome to Sunrise Cardcast, your one-stop podcast shop for all things hockey cards. My name is Eric Andrews, also known in the hobby as Hammerhawks, and I'm joined by my co-host and fellow hobbyist Aaron Goldstein, better known as Crease Collector. So starting things off for this episode, as Aaron kind of hinted at on Twitter earlier in the week, we have acquired some boxes of Upper Deck Series 1 to open up on the show, and we just wanted to start out by opening up those blasters. We both have blasters, but they're actually a little bit different of configuration. Aaron has kind of the standard blaster that includes the oversized Young Gun, and I have the Team Triples bonus pack version. So they're a little bit different, but obviously the same product, so you're going to be looking for generally the same types of cards. So we're going to start with Aaron's break since it's a smaller blaster as far as the number of packs, but one thing that we wanted to kind of talk about, obviously the big chase card in the product is Alexis Lafreniere and his Young Gun and his Young Gun canvas in terms of what you're looking for in a retail product. So Aaron, for you, would you say that you would prefer to pull the base Young Gun, the true rookie, or the canvas Young Gun?
Either card would be perfect, but I think the true base Young Gun from you would be the pull that I'm looking for. Mine does have the oversized Young Guns, which I was looking at yesterday, and they do go for quite a bit. And I've always been kind of a fan of kind of those oddball, oversized or mini cards, those cards that differ from the standard card size. So hitting the oversized as well would be kind of cool as well. So either one of the Young Guns would be fine. I'm not really, a person that collects the latest and greatest rookies. So, I don't normally do the hunting, and my track record is not great at all, but I'm hoping to come out with something here. So we'll see.
Absolutely. And would you say that if you do happen to pull either the base Young Gun or the canvas, that you'll keep it, or would it be something that you consider moving?
Oh, I would definitely move it. I mean, as much as I like, opening cards and things like that, I think, especially right now with the card market, I think it would just be too hot of a card to not move. And I'm sure there's a lot of French-Canadian collectors that would be able to enjoy this card much more than I can in my collection. So I think just as much as I would love pulling the card in a new Series 1 product, I think for me, it would definitely, selling it would make the most sense for me in my collection. And I'm sure it would end up in the hands of a very happy collector.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good answer. Well, I think that's probably enough lead into it. So if you want to go ahead and get going with your blaster, give it a shot. You have a plan on if you're going to do the oversized Young Gun first or last, or what are you thinking?
I don't know. I'm going to see how – I'm just going to open it now, how it kind of looks when I open it.
Sure, if it's obvious who it is or anything.
Okay, yeah, so I just saw the oversized. Actually, it's not the one that I'm looking for, but that's okay. From the Edmonton Oilers, Philip Broberg. So if anyone collects him, definitely let me know. And these cards will be available for sale or trade or anything like that. So I'd love the oversized Young Guns. I really like the design this year, so put that aside there. And then we'll get into the packs. And I was speaking with Eric before we went live here. And in these 6-pack configurations of these blasters, I believe I'm guaranteed about 4 hits, and one of them will be a Young Gun on average. So we'll see what happens in these 6 packs. Okay, so pack number 1.
Good luck.
Yeah, thanks, man. This card looks really good this year. So nothing in there, but base. Or no, never mind. I got Young Gun in there. Tyler Benson, Young Guns from the Oilers as well. So that was pretty awesome. Nice little Oilers start. Not bad.
Yeah, he's a decent one too. Not necessarily a huge name right now, but he's got some nice upside.
Especially with the Oilers, if he can put in a couple goals with McDavid. What position does he play? Not really sure.
I think he's a winger.
Yeah, so doesn't say on the back, so that's all right. Not bad. So hopefully he can light it up and win a cup with Edmonton. And his Young Guns are worth quite a bit. So we'll see. All right, second pack. Hit the man himself, Connor McDavid base card. Might have to hold on to that. Those are awesome. I think that was just base.
One thing that's kind of interesting to note too, I'm assuming in your blaster, the Young Gun odds are 1 in 4, or are they 1 in 6?
Probably 1 in 6 if
okay.
I didn't check, but 1 second. It says the Young Guns are 1 in 4. So, okay, so maybe I can break the odds and get more than one, but
Yeah, if you got one
we
in your
shall
first,
see.
if you got one in your first pack, that's looking good.
Exactly.
That
So
you might get another one.
we'll see. Nothing much in that one. And I don't think any of the variations are in this.
Correct. Just canvas.
Yeah, exactly. So 3 packs left.
I'm just curious, what's the last 2 numbers of the sticker on the box?
Sticker on the box.
Like the NHL logo.
Oh, it's last 2 numbers are 4-8.
Okay. Some people care, some people don't.
Okay. Oh, nice. We got a canvas of Jonathan Quick. Not bad. Nice little Stadium Series photo. Awesome, awesome. Love that card.
The canvas always have really nice photos.
Oh, they're great. Such nice cards. Yeah, I did a really good job this year. All right, 2 packs left. And if anyone has any of the Mackenzie Blackwood Dazzlers, just let me know. Because 1, they're awesome cards, and 2, he's actually wearing an Enroth glove in that photo. So might kind of want to add that to the collection just for kind of an oddball card. Oh, sweet, another Young Gun. Not the name we're looking for, but at least you beat the odds. From the LA Kings, Gabe Vilardi.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, so not bad. Awesome, 2 Young Guns.
Vilardi's a pretty good one.
Perfect. All right, last pack. So right now for the hits, we have the oversized Broberg Young Gun. We have the Benson and Vilardi Young Guns and the Quick Canvas. So last pack, let's see if we'll get anything. Looks like a Dazzlers. Oh man, not bad at all. We got 2 here. 2 hits. All right. So for my last pack, 2 hits in it. Not bad at all. This one I'll probably end up keeping, actually. Wow. Oh, these are nice. So we got, first off, we got rookies portraits of Jason Robertson from the Dallas Stars. And then we have a Dazzlers Green, which are the retail exclusives. The pink and blues were in the hobby, and then they have the green and oranges, I believe, are in certain retail configurations. So these ones have green and Sidney Crosby. So not bad at all.
Very nice.
That is awesome. Wow. That is a nice card. Definitely going to keep that. I mean, I'm a goalie collector, but who doesn't love Sid the Kid? Oh, man, that is so cool. Definitely worth it. Awesome. All right. So I'm definitely happy with my break. I don't know if we'll be trying any more of these, but definitely if you're a new collector or one that is experienced like ourselves and just want a fun little rip with a possible big pull, definitely these things are the way to go, especially with these retail exclusives green parallels for the Dazzlers. So yeah, that's awesome. Such a nice card. Oh man, I love that. Perfect. Okay, so for those who need just a recap, I received the UD canvas of Jonathan Quick, the Upper Deck Dazzlers green Sidney Crosby, and for my rookies, I have the portraits of Jason Robertson, and for my Young Guns, I have the oversized of Philip Broberg, and the Tyler Benson and Gabe Vilardi regular Young Guns. So that's my break. I'm definitely very happy with that. Beat the odds there for the Young Guns and got 2 hits in my last pack. So not bad at all. And Eric, what do you think of my break?
Yeah, I mean,
tell me how great my hits were.
Given that you didn't hit Lafreniere or didn't hit, anything super, super big, I would say that's pretty solid. Like you said, you beat the odds on the Young Guns and got 2, and Vilardi is a pretty good one. It seems like that's selling for around 10 Canadian, so that's a pretty good one.
I'll take it.
Obviously, getting the Crosby insert is really nice, and having that 2-hit pack right at the end was pretty sweet too. I'm pretty sure I haven't looked super closely at the oversized Young Gun checklist, but I know for sure that Broberg is definitely not the worst that you can get. So, did all right there. So yeah, I mean, I would say, given that you didn't hit anything too big, I would say that was a pretty solid blaster.
Perfect, man. Good to hear. I'm not going to waste too much time, but good luck on yours, man. I'm sure you're itching to get into them. Like, I know you did receive a couple of them, but I know that you do want to save those, and just enjoy them in your own personal breaks. But good luck on yours. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping you pull, the big guy.
Yeah, me too. And funny enough, I mentioned the sticker number on the box. The one I've got here ends in lucky 13, which of
Nice.
course is also Lafreniere's jersey number with the Rangers. So
Oof, okay.
we shall see if that ends up meaning anything or not. So get cracking.
I think it will. I think you'll hit one.
Hopefully. Yeah, and just to reiterate again, these are the Team Triple blasters, and they are 8 cards per pack and 10 packs per box. Now, I'm not sure if that means that that's 10 packs including the Team Triples bonus pack, or if that means 10 Upper Deck 1 packs plus the Team Triples pack. I'm not sure yet. I haven't seen this configuration anywhere online, whether that be in an online store that you can purchase or box break videos of it or anything. I haven't seen them anywhere. So I have no idea really what to expect with this. But as far as the odds, the Young Guns are 1 in 4, so I should get at least 2 with an outside chance at a third. Canvas are 1 in 7 for base and 1 in 48 for Young Guns. Portraits are 1 in 8 for the base and 1 in 30 for rookies. And then this one, kind of interestingly, actually features the hobby dazzlers, so the blue and the pinks, as opposed to the green or orange. And the blue being the more common ones at 1 in 24. UD game jerseys are 1 in 24, so there's a somewhat decent chance at getting one of those. And then, quite a few other bigger hits that have much longer odds, so not expecting anything like that. But just to give you guys that little bit of a quick rundown on those. So let me take the packs out and kind of see what I'm working with here. Okay, yeah, so it is 9 Upper Deck 1 packs plus the Team Triples bonus pack. So I think I'm going to start with that Team Triples bonus pack and just get that out of the way. I know last year they had gold parallels of the Team Triples cards in these packs, but generally speaking, these cards aren't worth a whole lot, whether you get the base or the gold. So I'll open up this bonus pack right now. It's 2 cards per pack. Now I can see the one on the back. Okay, it looks like they do have the gold parallels again this year, which is nice. So I'll start with the one that I saw from the get-go, which was a Team Triples Silver, which is the base version of the Dallas Stars of Tyler Seguin, Miro Heiskanen, and John Klingberg. And then the other one is a gold parallel. And Aaron, you'll like this one. It's of the Toronto Maple Leafs, but it's none of the big names. It's actually kind of more of a rookie focus from last season. So it has Ilya Mikheyev, Rasmus Sandin, and Pierre Engvall.
I'm a fan. Anything Maple Leafs, yeah, man. I'm on board with that.
There you go. So they're nice looking cards. Like I said, they're nothing super valuable or anything too special, but as added little bonuses in the box, they're nice little cards to have. So those will both definitely be available. So if you guys happen to need those for your set, or if you collect either of those teams or any of those players, just let me know and I'm sure we can work something out. So now I'll get into the actual Series 1 packs. Like I said, there's 9 of them. So should get at least 2 Young Guns and have an outside chance at getting third. And I believe based on the sequencing of the Young Guns, it seems like Kiefer Bellows is the one who goes with Lafreniere more times than not. Martin Kaut is another one to be looking for in terms of pairing with Lafreniere. So if I happen to get a Young Gun of either of those 2 guys, that's a good sign for sure. Yeah, the base cards are definitely very nice, like you said, Aaron, for sure. This is the first time I'm actually holding any of the Upper Deck 1 cards in my hands. I did not open any hobby packs or anything prior to this. So I'll note the hits. Not probably all that notable to list all the base cards. So first pack, let's see. It looks like it's actually all just base cards. Yep, just a base pack. And one thing to note, I don't know if it was this way with yours as well, Aaron, you might want to check, but Upper Deck Series 1 has kind of had an issue with the condition of the cards this year, in that almost all of them have kind of these like rounded corners almost. It's strange because it's really not necessarily damage. It's kind of just how they were cut. But yeah, a lot of people have been noting that with their breaks, and it's just something to keep an eye on, because there are some that are, the standard super sharp corners, but it seems like most Upper Deck 1 cards this year kind of have a slight round for the corners. All right, so just a base pack to start out, which is kind of, not super uncommon for Series 1 retailed. Obviously hobby, you're pretty much getting something in every pack, but retail, it's not wildly uncommon to just get a base pack. So it's all up from here, that's for sure. So pack number 2, I kind of wish that some of my PC guys were in Series 1, but it seems like they're all being held back for Series 2, unfortunately. Let's see, another base pack. Okay. Saving all the hits for the end, I guess.
Could be better, but it makes for an exciting, last few packs, I'm sure.
True. Yep. Yeah, nothing. Just a base pack. All right, let's move to pack number 3. Of course, that's not encouraging for getting 3 Young Guns, so I would have had to have hit one already. So probably just going to get the 2. I've got a canvas of Jonathan Bernier. That's a nice action photo of him jumping over a sliding defenseman. Kind of an interesting photo, but cool nonetheless.
Former Maple Leaf, I'm a fan.
Yes, former Winter Classic starting goalie for the Leafs, Jonathan Bernier. Like we said, the photos are always really nice, whether that be an action shot or just like a kind of like a pregame warm-up or behind the scenes type of photo, anything like that. The photos on the canvas cards are always really sharp and just look really nice. Got a Jonathan Taves base card of him wearing the Winter Classic jersey, so that's pretty cool. So the Bernier canvas for that pack. So on to pack number 4. Got to be a Young Gun coming up, I would think. Should be getting 2, like I said. And looks like I do have a Young Gun here. And the Young Gun is of Artem Zagadulin, a goalie for the Calgary Flames.
Not bad, not bad. Like, when you have to sit back and try and pronounce his name, it's not going to be Lafreniere.
True. And one thing to note, too, is this Young Gun is actually really sharp with the corners, so that's encouraging. Yeah, it seems like specifically the Young Guns were hit really hard with that corner issue this year, so it's nice to see that Young Gun is actually in really good condition. So, moving along, I believe this is pack number 5. And to the best of my knowledge, that means that I'm probably not going to get Lafreniere, because I don't think that he's paired with Zagadulin at all. But I'm not sure who else goes with him, so there could still be a better one coming. Hopefully there is. Let's see. These packs are kind of difficult to open. I don't know if you had that same experience, Aaron.
Yeah, I noticed they were a little questionable at times, but yeah.
So pack number 5, we have got another base pack, it looks like. Yep, just base here. So yeah, they must be saving stuff for the end here, because I've just gotten the Bernier canvas and the 1 Young Gun so far. So on to pack number 6. Oh, I got a nice one for you, Aaron. I got a UC Saros base.
Not bad. I'm a big fan of his.
Followed by John Tavares. And another base pack. Man, this is a slow break for sure. Was not expecting for it to be this slow. Figured there'd be portraits or something. So I've got 3 packs left here, so I think I still need a Young Gun, obviously, and then at least a portrait. So at least the end should be more exciting than it's been so far. Let's see what we've got here. Got a Jonathan Bernier base to go with the canvas. Alex DeBrincat base. And just another base pack. My goodness. Okay.
Man, that's rough. Like you always hear about those, those base blasters with, maybe only 1 hit. So hopefully it's not a collation issue, but.
Yeah, it's been slow. Definitely slower than expected, but let's see. So this is the last Young Gun. I'm going to set it aside, actually. Go to the final pack. See if there's anything in here. And it looks like it's a portraits. So the final pack has a portraits. Oh, here's one for you, Aaron. These are really nice in person, actually. I didn't realize that there was pink foil on them. They look really nice. It's a portrait of Austin Matthews.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Same thing with the foil. Yeah, they do look kind of a lot better in person. They pop. So I know Billy was speaking on these last episode, but yeah, no, they're interesting cards for the design, but they definitely put a lot into it as far as like the technology and not just making it, a simple portrait.
Yeah, for sure. It's nice to have that foil pop, and it's interesting that it's pink. A lot of times with foil you just see the standard silver or gold or whatever it might be, but seeing something different like pink is definitely something that catches your eye right away. So props to Upper Deck on that. So going back to pack number 8 for the final hit, being a Young Gun. Okay, the final Young Gun is, okay, I'll take that one. That'll go into my Blackhawks collection. It is a Young Gun of Nicholas Beaudin, who was a first-round pick of the Blackhawks in 2018. So probably not the Blackhawk that I would actually prefer. I think there are 3 Blackhawk Young Guns in the product, and I'd probably take the other 2 over Beaudin, actually. But not complaining at all to get a Blackhawk Young Gun for my collection, that's for sure. So, yeah, just to recap, I got the Zagadulin Young Gun, the Beaudin Young Gun, the Matthews Portrait, and the Bernier Canvas. And I believe that was it. And then the Team Triples pack, like I said, I got a Dallas Silver and a Toronto Gold. Yeah, I mean, I would say, I don't know what you think, Aaron, but I would say that your blaster was probably much better than mine. But, that's just how it goes. So at least I did get the Blackhawk Young Gun, like I said.
Yeah, it's always nice to get something for your PC. But yeah, I mean, with blasters, it's always a roll of the dice. You win some, you lose some. I have been on the receiving end of some brutal blasters over the years. But again, I don't break very much, even at the retail level. So yeah, I mean, it happens.
Yeah, that'll wrap up our mini segment with a UD1 kind of head-to-head blaster break. If this is something that you guys kind of enjoy us doing, let us know. Obviously it's fun for us to open stuff on the podcast, since we don't really open stuff too much. So if this is kind of something that you like, even just in this format of us both opening some of the same product, let us know, and hopefully we can do that a little bit more down the road as well. Don't get your hopes up for us opening tins of the cup or anything, but yeah, it's definitely fun for us to be able to do something and kind of share this experience together by both opening something at the same time.
And now moving along from our hunt for the Lafreniere Young Gun, we just want to quickly talk about the sale that just happened for the first graded copy that we've seen surface, and it graded a BGS 10 Pristine. And it was the first, and probably not only, but it was definitely the first that got that pristine grade, which was quite surprising for a lot of people, considering the quality control issues that a lot of these cards had, especially the Lafreniere with the rounded corners and just the overall condition issues from the product. But it was listed on eBay last week, and the auction just ended Thursday night for a final bid of $13.59 US, which comes out to $1,750 Canadian, with a whopping 69 bids. So although that is a big chunk of change, no doubt, that final price of $13.59, for me, in my opinion, it seems a little low. Just because of all the hype that was surrounding Lafreniere going into the release, will he or won't he be in the product, and seeing those first few cards sell. I think the first few sold for right around $400, I believe. And of course, they've come down to earth since then. But noting the condition issues across the whole product, just seeing the first one to grade 1 so quickly and 2 for a pristine 10, I thought that this card would just be into the thousands. My guess was around like 4,000 or 5,000, which seems quite high, but seeing what the Young Guns were doing at the time, like 4 or 5K definitely seemed doable. So for his first pristine 10 to sell for this much, for me, it seems a little low. So whoever has that card, I think, depending on how Lafreniere plays, it could be definitely a sweet investment piece for the future. So again, noting these condition issues. So definitely a big card, but yeah, that one surprised me for that final price. So hopefully we see others, but again, who knows when we'll see another 10 because with those condition issues. So yeah, it was definitely quite surprising on that sale.
Yeah, I agree for sure. I think maybe in my opinion, 4,000 to 5,000 is maybe a little bit high, but I was expecting easily that it would break 2,000 US and maybe get up around 25 or maybe three. But yeah, seeing it end at around 1350 was very surprising. One thing to note with that is that, like Aaron said, it ended on a Thursday night and it was only a 3-day listing, I'm pretty sure. So the seller probably didn't do themselves any favors by doing that. It probably would have been better to do a 5-day listing that ended on Saturday night, but so be it. But yeah, definitely an interesting sale. And in terms of another big ticket item that has been up on the auction block lately, even though this is a card podcast, obviously memorabilia collecting is very much still part of the hobby. And when something like this comes up, you just can't ignore it. So some of you have probably heard about it and seen it. Others of you probably have not. So to fill you in, there's a Wayne Gretzky 1979-80 rookie year game-worn Edmonton Oilers jersey, complete with a signature and photo matches for the jersey that is being sold on, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, I think Sotheby's or Sotheby's or something to that effect. I hadn't heard of the auction site before, so I'm not sure if they're a big name within the memorabilia industry or what, but yeah, it's obviously quite the jersey, quite the piece there for sure. The listing is ending on Monday, December 7th in the afternoon, which I kind of thought was interesting. I feel like ending on a Monday in general, but then also in the afternoon could definitely limit the final price. So it'll be interesting to see how high that goes. It was originally listed with a reserve price, but that reserve has actually already been met. And as it stands right now on Friday night when we are recording this, the jersey has 7 bids and stands at 380,000 US dollars, which is just hard to even kind of fathom that. But when you consider, how many Gretzky rookie year jerseys are out there, kind of makes sense. It's almost one of the kind of quote unquote holy grails of hockey memorabilia. So it'll definitely be really interesting to keep an eye on that over the next few days and see what it goes for. So with that, if you guys want to take a shot at predicting what that final price is going to be, please let us know. We always love, hearing what you guys have to say about really cool things like this. So please be sure to shoot us a tweet or message us on Instagram or post on Facebook, whatever it might be, what you think that Gretzky jersey is going to end up selling for come Monday afternoon. So transitioning into kind of the final big part of the episode, we wanted to talk about the brand new Upper Deck release being 1920 Upper Deck Chronology. So Aaron, do you want to just run through some of the product's details and information a little bit before we bring on Billy to talk about the product more in depth?
Oh, absolutely. As you just mentioned, we're going to have Billy on again in just a few moments just to kind of further dig deeper into this product. But just a quick rundown, as we always do for those listeners. It was released this past Wednesday on December 2nd, the 1 pack per box product with 4 cards per pack. Of course, it depends where you look, but generally it's going to be in the 140 US or 180 Canadian range for 1 box from the big retailers. The returning staple content is the franchise history autographs, the canvas autographs, which are amazing. The Letterman, which are kind of like a hot topic right now. We'll get more details on that, and the time capsules, which are also pretty cool. The different content this year is that, of course, the Letterman do not have the typical fabric patches. They are styrene letters. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Similar to UD's golf scoreboard cards, for those who know what those are, any golf fans out there. So, yeah, it's definitely an interesting product. Obviously, the cards still look beautiful. But yeah, those Letterman cards are definitely a hot topic right now. I believe the older players who was in the first edition of this product do have the typical letter patches as we're used to seeing. But yeah, the new players definitely have the new materials for that. There is a reason for that, a very good reason. So we'll get more of that in a moment. So joining us now to talk about the product is Upper Deck product manager, Billy Celio. So Billy, just first off, can you just start telling us some of the best things about the product and what some of your personal favorites are in the new Volume 2 of Chronology?
Sure, guys. Well, as some of you might have known from the first set, Chronology has a little bit of a history with Upper Deck. It was a basketball product that did quite well back in the day, and we wanted to kind of do a hockey version of it where we really did just kind of like an anthology of hockey. So what we decided to do was just kind of build a set that really resonated with set collectors, player collectors, team collectors, and also introduce some of the hockey fans to some of the really popular inserts that were in Chronology. And let me just say, one of my favorite inserts, not just in Chronology Volume 1 and Volume 2, but just in general, have to be our Canvas Masterpiece cards. These cards are absolutely stunning, gorgeous. We've used the same artists now for both sets. We have 3 artists that have worked on this, and they have done such an amazing job. It's very scary to do sketch cards, not sketch cards, but even sketches or paintings or anything when it comes to sports, just because of player likeness. To making sure that these cards look like the players. You don't want them to see these cards and be like, this looks nothing like me. I'm not signing these cards. And these artists have done such a great job, not only with the detail in the background and of the surroundings, but the likeness of these players are amazing. And they've really captured the specific moments that we are trying to freeze in time with these paintings. They've captured the moments that people remember and know exactly what those moments are by the jobs that they painted and the different frames. And something that we added that was different than the original basketball version, we added memorabilia versions, and I've been seeing a lot of those come out, and the patches on those are absolutely gorgeous. So I just really love the look of the Canvas Masterpiece cards. And what's great is there's even an opportunity to win the actual art that these artists are doing in our time capsules. There's little redemption cards that reward the actual painting that these guys did, which is one heck of a prize. You don't see that very often. So I like the Canvas Masterpiece. I'd say another insert that I really like in Chronology are the diamond relics. And the reason I say that is, we've done diamond relics in Black Diamond, but the majority of those players are rookies. We use the 1 through 4 diamond scale for the rookies, and a lot of the veterans have not had the opportunity to have diamond cards. So this is an opportunity to have a lot of veteran content with diamonds. And it's also another opportunity for a high-end card for a player that might not necessarily sign autographs. So the really only option that you can get for, a high-end card for these guys is maybe a low-numbered, parallel or whatnot. Well, these diamond cards give those players that might not necessarily sign autographs a chance to have a high-end card for those PC guys to collect.
That makes sense with your point about, guys with no autographs. Just backing up a little bit for the art cards, I'm not sure if this is your avenue or not, but when you talked about those artists, is there any process that Upper Deck goes to that chooses these artists, or have you guys been just working with these guys a long time and it just kind of your go-to?
Probably the latter. Our head designer, the guy that appoints who's going to be doing the artwork for us, Neil Johnson, he's been with Upper Deck since the 90s. He has built so many contacts and relationships with artists and with designers and whatnot. this guy knows who to go to. And, we have certain people that we have used in a number of products, like masterpieces. I believe one or two of these artists are guys that have worked with us in masterpieces. So we have some guys that, like you said, are go-to guys that we can trust and say, hey, we need 30 paintings of stuff. We need it to look good. We need it to look like the players. We need it highly detailed, and they're gonna deliver every time. So, it'd be great to use other artists, and we do use other artists in different projects. And obviously, with an entertainment license, we use artists all the time. But we in Chronology, we have had some guys that have done some great work from us, and we decided to use them again.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Like, I know it's not on our list of questions, but thanks for the clarification on that. Obviously, the art cards are a fantastic draw for the product, and it's good to see that you guys have built up those relationships with the artists, and they definitely deliver every time. For the product overall, it was generally a really big success with collectors last year, and of course going into this year as well with Volume 2. And the focus on old school players in the original, and now, of course, the focus on the modern players. Can you talk about that dynamic that is, looking at other products? It's a very unique method for products within the hobby in splitting up that veteran content within that modern content later on and doing that split.
It was never been a secret that Volume 1 was going to be retired guys. We wanted to utilize our deal with the Alumni Association, which you saw so many guys that you've never seen autograph cards for, or haven't seen autograph cards in years, in Volume 1. And that was our intention. But as I said, this is a really a big set builder set. Now, we can't make, an Oilers anthology of cards without a Connor McDavid. And, obviously Connor McDavid's not part of the Alumni Association. Now, if we decided to mix our Alumni Association with our active players, that's going to be, a couple licenses that you're going to have to use, and that can get costly. So, as I said, our main intention was to utilize our Alumni Association for the first one, and I believe we even announced it at our CDD conference that Volume 2 was going to be active players. Now, not only is it active players, but we did a really good job, and our talent acquisition team did a really good job of still going out there and trying to find some names of guys that might not be in the Alumni Association, but are retired guys that we'd like to see in the set still. So we obviously have sprinkled in some retired content in Volume 2. So, that's been quite helpful. But we really wanted to just kind of, again, focus on team collectors, on player collectors, but it's more of I don't want to say it's a different generation, but, it's of active guys.
Yeah, for sure. And kind of going off of that a little bit, it seems like a lot of people in the hobby maybe weren't aware of, that dynamic that Volume 2 was going to be more geared toward more modern and current players as opposed to retired and legends. Maybe if you could kind of reiterate that was always the intention. And then following up with that too, another question that we were asked to ask you is, are there any plans for a third volume of Chronology either next year or just in the future?
To answer the first question, as I stated, yes, we didn't hide the fact that the Volume 2 was going to be active players. I will say that it is very veteran strong. Like, a lot of sets we get accused of, like, oh, it's just rookies, it's just rookies, it's just rookies. This is a lot of veterans. This is a lot of guys that have been in the league for a while or a few years that are in this set that we've got autographs with, that we've gone out and gotten deals with. So again, we're still like giving them content that they haven't seen before. And how many times have we been asked to add more veteran content into a set? Well, here is your set to be able to do that. Now, as for a Volume 3, I believe there is a Volume 3, and it's in Volume 2. I believe the rookie cards are kind of considered, we call them Volume 3. So there is rookie content in the set. It isn't the main attraction of the set, but there are rookies in there, and that's kind of like the volume 3. We only intended to do volume 1 and volume 2 as a standalone set. Now, is there room in the future to maybe do updates to some of these sets and some of these teams and players and stuff? Yeah. Do we have a place for that yet? No, but a smart card company would say, hey, this is a good idea to update this set along the way. We do that with other stuff like the honored members in Upper Deck Series 1. You constantly see new guys added to that. Might be an opportunity to add guys in as a insert in another set down the road.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. Now to get to the big, I guess, point of discussion for the product, there's been a ton of talk about the Lettermans this year not using the manufactured patches. Can you explain why that change took place, and were you expecting as much backlash as there seems to have been?
Here's where I hope you guys have tens of thousands of viewers and listeners and whatnot, because I'm going to explain this to you guys in quite detail. So hopefully everybody understands what's going on with this. Our intention from the start was obviously to make manufactured patches for the Letterman cards. We wanted to kind of copy the idea of what we did in volume 1. Now, unfortunately, our vendors were unable to produce manufactured patches for us due to COVID restrictions. If you do not recall, there were vendors, not only like patch vendors, but there were card vendors. There were, unless you were deemed, essential, there were a lot of businesses that were shut down for a period of time. And unfortunately, our vendor that makes the patches for us was one of those businesses that, because of COVID restrictions, weren't able to get us patches in the time that we needed. And we held out as long as we could. Nobody knew how long this pandemic was going to last. I would have never guessed that 9 months later I would still be working from home on my couch. But that's the truth. We're still not going into the office. We do a lot of work from home. So, we weren't able to predict that this was going to last as long. So we held out believing that things were going to get better, and that, our vendors were going to open up and that they would be able to produce the patches for us. When we figured out that this wasn't going to happen, we realized we needed to make these cards in time to get them signed for the product. So a lot of people said, why couldn't we just use another vendor to make the patches? Like I've seen as far as people saying, my grandmother could have sewn you guys a bunch of letters and you could have put them into the cards. And what they don't understand is when we put things into cards, when we put patches into cards, when we put little pieces of metal into cards, like the NHL Glory cards, all of these things that go into a card, they have to go through a certain testing process. We have to know that we can put stuff into cards. We're making like comic cut cards in our entertainment. Those comics have to be tested, so we know there's not lead in the ink that's being used to make the comics. So just like it seems pretty, I don't want to say stupid, but things that go into cards have to get tested, and it doesn't take a day to test these things. This process can last weeks. And when I say weeks, I'm not talking 2 weeks. It could be anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks that the testing would need to take place. Now that period of time right there eats into the amount of time that we need to get these cards produced. So we did some brainstorming and decided that our best option was to use the materials that we've used that we're using and have used in our golf product. And it's kind of like a board. It's almost like a scoreboard, and then the players sign over top of it. It looks nice. It looks real nice. If we would have, done this from the start, I don't think we'd get as many complaints. But we've already had this process tested. So it's not like we have to go and then get this board tested either. We've had it tested, so we can go straight from there. So we decided they look good. We needed to move, and we moved on it ASAP. Now here's another thing to think about. If we waited, and we would have had to wait a long time. You know, these cards might not be able to get hard signed. If we waited until we could get our vendor or get the stuff tested to then make Letterman patches, we might not have been able to get this product out in time, or even close to on time. I say on time, it was already late. But to get it hard signed, you know, they're hard to track down. So what would you rather have? Would you rather have a board that's hard, that has the acetate over top of it that's hard signed, or would you rather have a letter with acetate over it and a sticker? Now, it seems like we're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't. Because how many times do you see on the boards and on the forums that people hate sticker autographs? And how good do you think sticker autographs look on PETG? They don't look that great. So, you know, that's kind of one of our only other options is if we sit and wait to get these Letterman patches, then the only way to get them signed and to get this product out when we need to get it out is going to be using stickers. And I'm not sure if people would like that very much either. So I've heard a lot of people also say that we did this just to cut costs and the price went up. And we don't determine the prices. When people ask us how much a box costs, we always say, talk to your card shop or your distributor or whatnot. We don't necessarily determine the market value of the price of the box. So, you know, if the price went up, it might be because of the market right now. But for them to sit there and say, oh, well, we just went cheap. We wanted to make these cheap cards to make the cards cheaper. Farthest thing from the truth. What people don't understand is the cost of a manufactured patch is minimal to the price it costs to produce each Letterman card. Let me give you the reasons why. Anytime you have a card that's over 24 point, boom, extra cutting costs. You can't just, you have to cut it a specific way, and that's an extra cost. Second, running the presses and using thousands of sheets of paper to test colors. That costs money. For each sheet of paper, and I'm not exaggerating, they test each color between like 500 to 2,000 sheets of paper have to go through just to test each color. And there's multiple colors on each form. Next, die cuts. So the die cut that you put the patch into, that's an additional cost. That costs a lot of money just to have them cut through the card to put that in. That's additional cost. Next, sorting the cards and the specific cutting of the cards. So what I mean by sorting the cards is when you have the cards cut, there's two different ways of cutting it. You're having to pay the extra cost, so these cards are sorted because you're going to have to put in specific letters to each card. So you want all the same player all together. It's not like it just randomly puts the cards out and then it randomly goes in the pack. We have to have these cards cut specifically so all the same player together so they can all put the same letters in there. That's an additional cost. And then the cost of just putting in the patches, the people that take those patches and put it into each card, that's an additional cost. PETG, I don't know if you know this or not, but plastic right now is quite expensive because we're using plastic a lot for masks, for COVID. And the price of plastic is more expensive because there's less of it because we're using it for other uses. So that's an additional cost. So the difference between using a patch as opposed to using this board is actually very minimal. The cost of the card actually comes in the process of building the card. Now, some people might say, well, why didn't you wait? And again, this is one of those, like, why didn't you wait to put the product out later? Again, this is damned if you do, damned if you don't. How many times do you hear that, oh, why is a product coming out in 2021 when it's a 1920 product? We hear it all the time. And like, how is MVP already out for 2021 when there's still products for 1920 that haven't come out? And, this is one of those things, again, with COVID, I hate to use this as an excuse, but it's the truth. We're living in a pandemic. But again, with COVID, our vendors, and I believe I stated this in the last video, they have specific times that they print stuff. Our vendors aren't just sitting there, sitting on their thumbs saying, when's Upper Deck going to come with their next product? We're ready to print. No. These guys are printing not only for us, they're printing for Topps, they're printing for Panini, they're printing for Leaf, and they've got a schedule. And we have to be able to fit our products and the release of our products and the printing of our products in their schedule, because it's already so crammed up because everybody's printing, cards right now because the market is requiring it. And they're already kind of backed up because some of these vendors had to shut down or use a skeleton crew for a period of time because of restrictions. So, you ask why we did the little letter. That's about a 15-minute explanation of why we chose the board instead of the patch. Trust me, we wanted the patches, but this was the best solution to be able to get this product out and to have still an attractive card. They're not ugly cards. I like them. And, I think they look fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing all of that. I know that was definitely a lot, and hopefully people will understand that, and hearing that will help them come to grip with the reality that we're in. So kind of changing gears off of that and going back to the autograph cards and stuff like that, and featuring some unique players. Obviously to me, the biggest highlight of the product is the Nicholas Hjalmarsson franchise history autograph that features him as a Chicago Blackhawk. And, while Hjalmarsson is the example that comes to mind for me, I know that there are a few other current players featured in the product that are shown with teams that they've played for in the past. Would you just be able to share a little bit about kind of what goes into that decision to feature a current player on a team that, they played for in the past that maybe they're more known for playing for, and, instead of showing them for that current team?
This has a lot to do with the franchise history set. And when we discussed this with the league, we kind of had to kind of give them what we were going after for this set, because the league usually wants us to have them in their current teams. They're sticklers about that, but they understand that there's different exceptions. We did the Yager years insert, and obviously we had Yager in every single one of his teams all the way back throughout his career. It's kind of like that. There's players that are, what are you going to want to see Joe Thornton in? Like, you're going to want to see him in a Shark uniform. So the league worked with us, and they were fine with us using players that with teams that they're either revered with or had special moments with. And we were able to make a lot of cards, and a lot of collectible cards, because they're more collectible because of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the time capsules have been always a huge draw of the product for a number of reasons. Where did the idea come from for the time capsules? And I'm not sure if you can speak on this, but is it true that the majority of the time capsule hits come in the serial numbered time capsules themselves?
The time capsule cards, we've done something similar in our Thor product, and trying to get more value in a pack, in a box. Those unopened cards add value to the product. There's that mystery. There's like, oh my gosh, I just gambled on buying a box of cards. Now I get to gamble again. And it's like a casino game where like you win, and then it asks you if you want to play again, like pick a card and see if you beat the dealer again, and you win a even bigger prize. It's kind of what it is. But it's funny, when it initially came out, the first series, a lot of people would open them, like just be like, okay, well, this is the card, and they open it up, and then there you go, and you're just like, guys are missing the value of the mystery of the cards, and we've seen the unopened cards do quite well on the secondary market. So that's kind of the thing. And time capsule chronology, it kind of fit the theme. It was just kind of something fun. People like minis, and people like mini autographs. We don't do as many minis in hockey anymore. So kind of wanted to bring back minis, and this was a creative way of doing it by also adding value. Now, to answer your second question about where all the big hits of these minis are, first of all, they're all kind of hits. These cards are, rare. The minis themselves are rare cards. There are autograph versions and blank back versions and whatnot that are rare. You've got the numbered cards, and I would say the best way for me to put it is the percentage of getting a bigger hit is probably going to be in those numbered time capsules, but don't sleep on the unnumbered ones. I just saw a break yesterday. I watched it yesterday, and they had a unnumbered Carey Price time capsule. She opens it up, and it was crazy because inside was a Carey Price mini autograph card. Now we don't match up the players with the time capsule. It was complete coincidence, but there's autographs, there's blank, there's rare hits in those in the non numbered versions also. And I would say the odds are actually better this year than they were in volume 1, or in volume 2. I think they're actually better than they were in volume 1. I can't get into the exact numbers or anything like that. I will tell you, I watched the guy rip the Gretzky 101 time capsule, and I was nervous. I was so nervous because I was just like, man, I hope this guy hits something good in that, because a lot of this stuff is random. You could have a card numbered out of 25 or a non-numbered. You could have a non-numbered have a better hit than technically a numbered time capsule. But the guy opened up the 101 Gretzky, and he pulled a art redemption out of it, and I was like, whew, that was good, because man, a 101 Gretzky with that mystery on it, that's a pretty valuable card. I was very glad that the guy got something quite valuable in return.
Yeah, I saw that too. That was really cool and fun to watch, and definitely will be cool. And hopefully he updates people on which painting he ends up getting. And hopefully it ends up being a pretty big name too. And just going along with those time capsules, obviously last year there were the museum collection relic redemption cards inserted as well. Are there any redemption cards or anything like that this year again? And if there do happen to be any cards like that, are you able to share any of what that might be?
The volume 2, I don't believe has any of those museum collection relics. Those were, we had a new product, and we wanted to kind of introduce it with a bang. And we had the opportunity to get some really cool items, and and not all the time like these items fit in cards, or do we want to cut these things up? So we thought this would be a perfect opportunity to maybe use some of those items that we have, or that we've purchased, and include them into this product. I don't believe, and it's not on the checklist, and we would have advertised it if there were any of the museum collection relics this time. But there's still a lot of really nice cards in the product for sure.
Definitely, 100%. Yeah, those museum collections pieces were awesome, and obviously those things are, you can't find them every day, so that's okay that they're not in volume 2. But what is in volume 2 is the new the 2020 XRC redemption cards that have also been drawing a lot of attention as well. You did speak on this earlier with the rookie content, but can you just tell us about those, and what was the thought for including them inside the product?
We obviously know there was a strong rookie class coming up, and we wanted them to be part of this chronology because we feel there's going to be at least 3 guys in this draft that are going to be potential franchise players. And so we didn't want to miss out on that opportunity. Now, I know I mentioned earlier, there might be areas down the road that we can, update our the growing collection of, franchise history people. But, it was an opportunity to get some of these franchise type rookies or future rookies into the product. And XRCs have been, pretty popular in the history of trading cards anyway. There's always the mystery of who it's going to be, one, and then the fact that, sometimes when you have an idea of who those guys are going to be, just the chance of getting their first cards. So we felt that there was a need to have those guys in the franchise history sets and the base set of such a big compilation of players and teams product. And they're nice hits to have. The base cards, they are numbered to 222. I don't know if that's stated anywhere. If I'm giving away any secrets, congratulations, you heard it here first. But those are numbered. They're like the base cards. They're numbered to 222. I can't give you the print run on the autographs, but they are rare. So if you get one of those, congratulations. Those are going to be some of the first autograph cards of some of these guys. But that's kind of the idea behind it. People like it, and it's a chance to get guys who we've deemed potential franchise players even before they've gone on ice. Just the potential is there.
Very cool. So just to clarify with that, the 1, 2, and 3 doesn't necessarily mean, it's the top 3 picks of the 2020 draft. It's just 3 guys who you feel are up and coming elite players, and you're ranking them that way.
Correct. Like we have not made the checklist for those 3 cards. There's people probably guessing, and they're probably very good guessers. But we have not made the checklist. Like if people are thinking, it's just going to be the top 3 picks. Well, what if Stützle doesn't, play? He got injured, and maybe they don't bring him up. And same with Byfield, same with Alexis. We never know. I remember Jonathan Drew in his rookie year. He didn't, he didn't get a card until like UD2 because he was injured for so long. So it's still, the checklist is still yet to be made. But if you were a betting man, the odds are in your favor. I'll just put it that way.
Sounds good. Is there anything else that you'd want to add or share about Chronology?
Chronology's been a great set to build. It's brought me down memory lane of hockey players that I've grown up watching, that my dad told me about when he grew up playing. He's from Chicago, so I have to hear about those Blackhawks from my family all the time.
Very nice.
Kills me. But and then seeing all the modern guys. It's the biggest collection of Volume 1 and Volume 2 combined is pretty much the biggest collection of hockey players in one set, with an autograph checklist that I'm pretty sure can't be matched at this moment. So to be a part of that has been a lot of fun. I think we've made some really nice cards in the set. I hope people keep collecting it. I get as I mentioned, I'm a member of like a Facebook group that's dedicated to collecting these cards. Like they like it that much. So hopefully we can please them and all the other fans. It's not going to be for everybody. It's not, but we've done a great job of making it for as many people as we can.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know I really like the product. I think it's an awesome idea and just really cool to document the history of the game through 2 products at this point. Just a very unique concept, and I think the execution has been really good both years. So yeah, that's really all we have. Again, thank you so much for joining us as always, Billy. We really appreciate it.
No problem, guys. Thanks again.
That was awesome. Just hearing his insight on everything on Chronology Volume 2. No doubt some hot takes there, especially about the letters. There's definitely a lot that goes into cards, and I'm sure by listening to Bill, you kind of hopefully can get that it's not always on the manufacturer when it comes to these things. But anyway, we just want to hear your thoughts on the podcast. First off, the Wayne Gretzky rookie year game worn jersey. That's definitely a huge item. It's up now for, oh man, $380,000. That is a big chunk of change. We just want to hear from you. Like, what will that sell for? Quite significant for sure in the hobby in general. What are your thoughts about 1920 Chronology Volume 2? What do you like or dislike about the product? And have you opened any yourself, or will you open any in the future? We just want to hear your thoughts on that as well. We're going to post these as well on social media as always, so definitely keep an eye out for that.
Absolutely. So I think that'll pretty much wrap it up for episode 21. Just a little teaser, hopefully for next time. My kind of hot streak on big pickups for my collection has continued as of last night. So stay tuned for another sweet mail day in the near future. But yeah, please be sure to follow us on social media. We can be found on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Sunrise Cardcast, and on Twitter at SunriseCC. Please also be sure to subscribe to the show on your podcast platform of choice to make sure you never miss a future episode. Until next time on Sunrise Cardcast, keep collecting those hockey cards.